Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, like always, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well on sound doctrine. Peace, love, and salutation to you, Akim out there doing the work with truth and sincerity. This brother Zariah Allah down here at the GMS Virginia camp, back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And I hope and pray this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. Pretty much what's on my spirit, concerning, the kingdom of heaven, concerning Jacob's trouble, concerning prophecy, all right? And concerning this wicked-ass kingdom that we have to dwell in, man, all right? But what, man? We're constantly praying on to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to get us up out of here, man. Like it says in Micah 2:10, for this is not your rest, arise ye and depart. For this land will surely destroy you with a sword of destruction because it is polluted. All right, this place is polluted, it's defiled, okay? It was made to destroy us, man. All right, but what? Through the mercies of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, what? Jacob is not therefore consumed, as the scriptures say, man. So the Lord is going to fight for the elect, all right? And with that being said, us calling ourselves the hopeful elect, us doing the things that are required of us pertaining to the scriptures and pertaining to the spirit, what, man? We have to be locked in and focused and not being caught up with the affairs of this life. All right, because hey, even though you may have a certain good job, a nice woman, some good health, kids, and everything like that, don't get too comfortable with this fucking place, man. All right, the Lord is getting ready to make his appearance, and it's time for the Lord to bring destruction to this wicked bitch, man. This place constantly is vexing my spirit, and brothers throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, man. Tired of punching in that clock and so on and so forth. But Salakia for the rant, I want to get Ezekiel 9 and verse 4. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city. What city? The great city. All right, that Babylon the great. Yeah, the Babylon the Great, Salakia. Yeah, Babylon the Great. I thought I missed my turn, Salakia. Yeah, Babylon the Great, okay, a.k.a. known as of America, the virgin daughter of Babylon, okay? This is that city. And then it says, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark, Jerusalem, a people before a place, okay? The scripture says that judgment shall begin at the house of Israel, all right? So the Lord is going to make judgments, man, all right? But continuing on, it says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right, the men that sigh and cry. Who's sighing and crying? The elect, the men. Okay, yeah, the women also, and the children, and so on and so forth. If they're in the, quote unquote, right mindset, which they're gonna physically, be crying out. Okay, in Jacob's trouble. But what? Hey, spiritually, we crying out right now, man. All right, through our lessons. All right. Us being on the highways and byways, lifting our voice like a trumpet, as the scriptures say, right? Showing our people their transgressions, okay? Praying, throwing up curses. We can't wait for this place is, utterly destroyed, man. Why? Because everything is filth here. Everything is anti-life. Everything is anti the scriptures or anti-Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's will. All right? These people don't serve the Lord. The Lord got a controversy with the whole inhabitants of the land because of the wickedness and the abominations that's done, right? So that mark that is speaking about, okay, the Hebrew word is tawah, which means exemption from judgment. Why? Because the elect is going to be exempt from the wrath to come that the Lord is getting ready to bring, okay, throughout the full corner of planet Earth, but predominantly on this this great whore that the Bible speaks of, right? And it says, verse 5, and to the others he said in mine heart, go ye after him through the city, smite, which means to kill, put death, judge, so on and so forth, right? Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Meaning there ain't no respect to person. Ain't no matter who it is, all right? Smite them, right? Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient man, which were before the house, right? So with that being said, Salaki, and it says, and said unto them, defile the houses, fill the courts with slain, go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city, right? Because this is actually going to happen. Scripture said that there are spirits created for vengeance. The Lord is going to send the angels. All right, the Lord is going to turn up these spirits here in America, and you're going to see wars, right? You're going to see race riots and things of that nature, martial law, right? Well, these are the times that we're coming in, and this is why we need to be fully locked in, okay, and letting our eye be single when we serving the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Because, hey, just because it may seem like it's all good now and everything like that, this is the quiet before the storm, and best believe that storm is coming. And this is why I want to get Amos 9 and verse 10. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake us nor prevent us, right? Because they're so stuck in their ways, okay? They're so stuck on, doing wickedness and serving Esau, Edom, and, chasing the bag, pretty much doing the things that are worldly instead of doing things that are spiritually, right? They love this world, man. So the love of the Father is not in them, okay? So that why, therefore, by default, they have to be put to death, man, because they're constantly, want to transgress the laws and want to forsake, the living water. All right, they want to forsake Yahweh Shem Yahushai and serve other gods and so on and so forth. So therefore, they have to be put to death. All right, but we cannot let that, okay, stop us from doing what we're supposed to do. Because hey, it could be your family member, your mother, your grandmama, your favorite cousin, whatever it is. All right, if they're not serving the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Lord gonna put them to death. Simple as that, man. All right. What was the other precept I want to get? Oh yeah, Khan. This is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. It says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." Yeah, what things? Okay, pertaining to the kingdom of heaven, the riches, the glory, immortality, peace, mental clarity, right? Slaves, concubines, land. The kingdom of the land of Israel, right? Spiritual powers, hey, all these things are going to be added unto us for what? For serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Just like the disciples asked Yahushai, we have forsaken all. Will ye therefore, shall we receive? And pretty much you say in the regeneration, you shall be on the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, and so on and so forth, man. And that's the things that we are looking for, man. All right, so if we're not focused or our eye is not single on serving the Lord, how can we strive if our mind is or our heart is not set on Yahweh Shem Yahushai? If it's set on this world, we're going to be consumed by this world. Okay, so pretty much the gist of the lesson is the message is to stay locked in the spirit and serve the Lord, man. Because you don't want to be caught up in the crossfires or caught up as collateral damage when the Lord brings his wrath and indignation. And ultimately, you don't want to miss the marriage supper. You don't want to miss the building of the kingdom. You don't want to miss the whole process of being able to put your enemies in subjection. All right, going after the Rockefellers and Rothschilds and the wicked elites of this world. All right, hey, the Lord is going to use his saints, to fish those men, because those fishers are going to become hunters. And best believe we're going to be beating the hell out these other nations, man. And I can't wait for that. Through the spirit, I get excited, man, because I can't wait to have these damn devils back in their place, man, and us being having our sovereignty, man. All right. But next precept, I don't want to get Salakia. I know I'm a little bit everywhere, but it's all through the spirit. This is Revelation chapter 21 and verse 3. It says, "And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold," which means to look, "the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men." Right? So, meaning what? It's starting with the 144,000 or 12,000 out of each tribe, or the 12 tribes. All right? It's starting with men. Okay, if the men don't get right, the nation won't follow. Okay, but the Lord is what? The Lord set up evangelists, prophets, teachers, disciples, and so on and so forth. For what? For the perfecting of the saints. So the men can be perfected, and through the perfection of the men, all right, everything else will follow. Okay, that's the order. All right, when we get ourselves in order, all right, everything else is going to follow suit, especially the world and everything of that nature. When you read Proverbs, speak about when the righteous beareth rule. Okay, no, when the wicked beareth rule, Salaki, the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. When the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice. And you're going to see that everything is going to be a paradise, Idan, if you will. It's going to be heaven on earth. But it says, the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and their power. Yeah, we're going to be dwelling with Yahweh Shai in the kingdom of heaven. You don't want to miss that. You don't want to, miss that moment of you being on that chariot being beamed up, and then at the marriage supper receiving that crown upon your head and the palm of your hand. All right, you don't want to miss that, man. So that's why it will behoove you, okay, or like Scripture said, let every man be persuaded in his own mind. All right, you want to be fully persuaded. You want to be fully invested in this thing, man, because I promise you, there's nothing else better than this truth. It may not seem like it right now because of the hell that we catch, the struggles that we have financially and so on and so forth, or being attacked in the flesh or in your sleep paralysis, and just demons in our mind. All right, hey man, all that shit that we going through, man, it's gonna be worth it when the kingdom of heaven. This is gonna be like a bad dream, right? Because as you continue reading on, it says verse 24, and the Most High shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes. Yeah, that tears of pain, sacrifice, and suffering that we went through constantly, and especially the times that we're gonna suffer, man. But what, man? It's for the betterment of our spirit, and it's ultimately what to purge out the infirmities in us, or to purge out the impurities in us, so we can be as fine precious gold, as the scriptures say, man. The Lord is going to pull that precious gold out the fire, and we're that precious gold, right? And it says, and there shall be no more death, right? Meaning what? We're not going to die, because we're going to be immortal, okay? We're going to be immortal. We're no longer going to be mortal living beings, man. We're going to be extraterrestrial beings, all right? And it says, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be pain, any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Yeah, former things, I mean, it's going to be a bad dream, meaning that, hey, we're no longer, imagine, waking up and not waking up in America, not having to worry about a passport, registration, your license, or your birth certificate, or having to get a loan for a damn house, or punching in the clock, going to fill up your gas, at the gas station, long ass lines in the grocery stores, the damn chemtrails, the dirty ass GMO foods, and all these different things, the fucking freakism that's going on in the world, and not having to worry about your kids being a victim to that, or gun violence, and all these different things, or death that's surrounded in America, man. You'd never have to worry about that again, because what? It's going to be the former thing is going to be passed away. So pretty much, like I said, it's going to be like you waking up from a bad dream, man. We'll never feel that ever again, man. And that's a beautiful thing, to experience, man. And I can't wait for that, man. But we yearn, men of the Lord yearn for things like this, man, And it says, verse 5, and he sat upon the throne and said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, for these words are true and faithful. Yeah, all things new, meaning it's going to be refreshed. Everything is going to be cleansed, the whole earth, etc., man. All right. And honestly, man, I cannot wait. I know I said it some multiple times throughout the lesson, but man, we in some exciting times. We're on the break of World War III, martial law, the MOTB being, mandatory. It's 2026. It's the first month of the year. Who knows what this year will hold, man? But we hope and pray that we get out of here soon, man, because we're very, very close, man. All right, and yeah, that was pretty much it. That pretty much conclude my lesson. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I made some pretty concise points. So I pray and hope this lesson was edifying to hopeful leg. Lord willing, it boosted your spirit and help you meditate on the things to come as pertaining to the kingdom. Peace, no more suffering, and things of that nature, man. Just stay locked in the spirit. We almost home. I want to give double honors to our elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Scattered throughout the full planet Earth. Until the next time, I want to say, Kwame Yasharala.